All right,
No, I promise you. We're not a macho. It's not
here we go. No calculator.
Dang.
We are not using a calculator here. We don't need one. We know how to do this. So, we're going to sketch that first problem. Well, it's really easy because it's already factored for us. So, who remembers what we do? We put some intercepts on here. We got one at 0. We got one at -1. And we have another one at 2. Right? Label those points nicely. Then we pay really close attention to how many x's we have all together. If we were to multiply this out, we would have x to what power? 4. Very good. Guys, everybody see that? There's 4 x's? Okay. So what does x to the 4th mean? Well, it's even. And even means same way. Up, up. Unless there's a negative, which there isn't, so it's up, up. So this is coming in from the top, because that's what evens do. Now, when it hits this point, we have to make a decision. What are we going to do when we hit that -1, 0? We're going to bounce off. Why are we bouncing off? Because that factor, that is the x plus 1 factor, and it is squared, right? Then we're going to connect to this one. Now what are we going to do when we hit that one? Are we going to bounce off that one? No, we're going to go right through it because that one came from the plane x. And then we'll connect to this. And what do we do now? Go through it because that one came from the x minus 2 factor, which isn't squared or anything like that.
Does it ever go like up and then immediately down?
What are you talking about?
Substitute down and immediately down.
If this had been a squared factor, yeah, it would bounce off, but it's not, so it doesn't. Now, what about B? What's the difference with B? Okay, what is the difference? What do I have to do first? I have to factor it first. Do you have a pencil? I need a pencil. Okay, so I'm going to factor it first. How do I factor it? By grouping. So x squared, x minus 3, minus 4, x minus 3. Does that look all right to everyone? And then there's my x minus 3. That's good news. And then x squared minus 4. And what do I know about x squared minus 4? X plus 2 minus 2. Very good. Order doesn't matter. Just have those 3 parentheses there. And then we're ready to proceed just like we did a moment ago. Where are my intercepts, my x-intercepts? My dots, my roots, my zeros, where are they? At 3, at -2, and 2. Now there's no mystery here. The problem is an x cubed problem. There's 3 x's, right? Where do 3 x's start? Any odds going to start at the bottom. And are there any squareds to worry about in this problem? So every 0 is just going to pass through and connect, and pass through and connect. Okay? All right, number 2. now we are gonna write the equation of the linear function. That means a line. We're gonna write the equation of a line. Okay, so what do you think about first? What does this mean? If f of 2 is 3 and f of negative 2 is 11, what does that mean? 2 comma 3 and negative 2 comma 11? So we have 2 points, and we want to write the equation of the line linear function. So what will we do? Well, so first of all, I'm going to find the slope. So the slope is going to be 11 minus 3, negative 2 minus 2. Did you get negative 2?
Yeah.
And then we'll pick a point. Y minus the y equals slope x minus the x. Did you get y equals negative 2x plus 7?
Yeah.
And on the quiz, I've helped you out. You are writing a linear function. So the answer should be f of x. So your answer blank says f of x equals, and in this case, you would just write negative 2x plus 7. Because the directions are really clear about writing the equation of the function. All right? Number 3, find the vertex axis, symmetry, and direction of opening. All right, can you look at 3A and give me that information? I hope so, because 3A is written in vertex form. So what is the vertex for 3A? Negative 1, negative 8. That parabola, that x squared, has been shifted 1 unit left and 8 units down. Right? That's its vertex. So what is its axis of symmetry? X equals negative 1. And which way does it open? Down. Because of the negative out in front. So that one is easy. It is in vertex form. The next one is not so easy, but it's still not bad. We have a means of finding our vertex. X equals negative b over 2a. And this will give me my axis of symmetry. It's going to say x equals a number. That will be my axis of symmetry. Okay? So x equals what? A is 2, b is 8. So negative 8 over 4, negative 2. So my axis of symmetry is x equals negative 2. Which means my vertex is negative 2 comma, because these always match. So now I'm going to plug negative 2 in here. So 2 times negative 2 squared plus 8 times negative 2 minus 3. I'm going to do the arithmetic. Negative 11. Don't just write that down, good grief. I'm an old woman. My brain doesn't work very well. Negative 11. And which way is it open? And we know that because the 2x squared, that's a positive 2. That means it opens up. Okay? All right?
Mhm.
All right. Now. You'll have a small calculator, not, problem 5 has some arithmetic in it, so you will have a small calculator tomorrow if you want to use one. Number 4, I don't think you need a calculator for. We're writing the equation of the parabola with a vertex at -1, 7 and containing a point equal to -5. Now I want you to look back at problem 3A. Problem 3A was in vertex form. So we could look at it and see our vertex was -1, -8. Now I want you to do this backwards. Here's your vertex. What does that tell you about your equation? Y equals, I don't know what that number is, but I know in the parentheses I have what?
X plus one.
X plus 1 squared
Mhm.
and plus 7,
Yes.
right? Because that's the vertex.
Mhm.
And that means then, the only thing I don't know is that. But I have this random
Point.
X and Y
Plug in there.
that I could plug in. See what I'm doing? And now I'll do my arithmetic. So -2 plus 1, -1 squared is 1. Did you get -12?
Yeah.
And this would be the answer to the question. And again, it's supposed to be a function, so we'll call it f of x. We really have to know this vertex form so that we can use it backwards. Find Alright, the height of a person varies directly as his weight. Height varies directly as weight. You remember this conversation we had one day? It was a short conversation, there was not much to that section. A 105-pound person is 58 inches tall. Which means K is 58 over 105. I'm just gonna leave that alone for a second. How much does a 63-inch person weigh? So height is 63, K is 58 over 105, and I wanna know what the weight is. So I'll multiply by 105, this is where my calculator's gonna come in handy. So I'll multiply by 105 and divide by 58. Did you get 114.052 pounds? No?
Yes.
Yes? And then finally B. The length of a widget varies inversely as the square root of its width. So length varies inversely as the square root of the width. So look at that, make sure that makes sense to you. Remember inversely K over? a widget that is 19 feet long is 16 feet wide. Does that make sense to you? So that's 4. So it looks like K is 76. How wide is a 32-foot long widget? So the length is 32, K is 76, and I don't know, I'm finding out how wide it is. Alright, so how am I gonna solve this?
Multiply by the
So
square root.
32 root W equals 76. So root W equals 76 over 32. I'm sure that reduces to something. 4 is a bit at 8. 4 is it at 19? I think 19/8. Well, be careful. That's not W. What am I gonna have to do to get W? I have to square that. So it's gonna be whatever 19 over 8 squared is. So if I write it as a decimal, I got 5.641. If I leave it as a fraction, which would be fine, I get 369 over 64. So either one of those is perfectly fine.
So we'll have a little template.
Could you like the arithmetic like this? All right, so what's on our quizzy poo tomorrow? This kind of stuff. All right, so let's get our notes back out. And as I recall, we were,
Synthetic.
yeah, did we finish 5A?
Yeah, you finished that, yeah. Then 5B.
So we're ready for 5B, which is just like 5A. So here's the deal. You are going to find the zeros, which is exactly what you're gonna do on your quiz tomorrow. The difference is, here is the notes problem, as opposed to, oh shoot, I just got to borrow this for a second. The quiz problem, which looks about the same. What's the difference? That's on the quiz tomorrow. This is where we are in our notes now. What's the difference? It's not gonna group, okay? So if it groups, like it will on the quiz tomorrow, that is what you wanna do, because that is always faster. If it doesn't group though, remember, that's when we start guessing and figuring out how we're gonna get the zeros that we need. So, if you want to, there's no law that says you have to, make a list of your possible guesses, possible rational roots. And remember where those came from? How do we get our guesses? Factors of 6, which would be what? What are the factors of 6? 6, 3, 2, and 1. And it's always plus or minus. Always positive or negative. And then, so it's factors of the constant, factors of this guy, over factors of the leading coefficient, which in this case just one, so you don't even need to write it down, but I will to remind you, it's over this. So basically, I'm gonna start guessing numbers. I have 8 choices. 8 numbers right here. So, all right. Pick one, we'll put it in the box. What do you want to pick?
Three.
-3. You said that very definitively. Did you already try it?
No, I did not.
So I'm gonna put -3 out here in the box.
Just put the strong.
My guess. Here are the numbers. I'm gonna drop this straight down, always, that first number goes straight down. So multiply, add, multiply, oh my gosh, add, and there it is.
They definitely knew.
I did not know.
They knew.
Now, what do we do if we don't get a 0?
Keep trying.
We try again. Pick another number and try again.
Remainder does us no good.
Remainders do us no good. We do not want remainders, so we're going only for zeros. Okay? Now, what does that mean? That means that one of my answers, one of my roots is -3. Because -3 gave me a 0. Now, there are still 2 more. This problem was x cubed. X cubes have 3 roots. What's this right here? What does that stand for?
1x squared.
1x squared
Minus 2x.
minus 2x minus 2?
Yeah.
It's common sense.
Can you solve that? I don't think it factors. So what do I do if I have to solve it and it doesn't factor? Quadratic formula. So x equals -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 0. Is that 12? Is that 8 plus 4? So 2 plus or minus 2 root 3 over 2. I have to take a 2 out. 1 plus or minus root 3. Now take a second and catch up there. You know exactly what to do. And my job was to find all the zeros. Find all the zeros. How many are there? 3. Did I find all 3? Yes, indeed. Notice it says exact. So I'm not using a calculator. I'm not doing decimals. I'm doing the radicals. Okay? All right, let's look at the next one. Uh-oh, x to the 4th. What does that mean? 4 roots. So I'm gonna end up with 4 answers. X equals, x equals, x equals, x equals. Here we go. What are my guesses? That doesn't group, obviously.
1, 2, 4.
So plus or minus 1, 2, 4, and 8? Over 1 again. All right, I'm gonna open up for guess here.
-4.
-4.
Doesn't seem like it.
This is
Nah.
not, this is not looking good. Do you agree? These numbers are getting pretty big and I want them to be 0. Okay, that's all right. We'll just guess again.
I like 2.
2.
No, Ray, too.
I like 2.
Two.
Not
Two.
I don't like it.
I like 8.
All right, let's try 2.
2 feels good.
All right.
Great shit on that.
Go for whatever you want. It's your problem.
Not
Good old rodeo.
Maybe 1.
Okay, I don't know if I'm making a mistake somewhere.
Is this gonna be time consuming on the test?
Yeah, this is how we do it.
Then we get 5 minutes.
No, dude, I remember last year we had tests. Remember that in Chadwick? No one finished this one.
All right.
Let's try 1.
Have you tried
Just
1?
might as well.
Cool, because, Royce, when you were gone, we had 13 PRRs.
Except for that one day. And none of them worked.
How we try?
It was like one, so it's not
Is it 4?
Only day we finished the test was that one day.
Oh, wait.
You got it.
Calculate
I
mistake.
may have just found 1.
Bang, let's
I
go.
got it.
think negative-
Boom! You got it.
Well, bam!
We got it.
Come on.
All right.
Did you already do that?
So the good news is -1 worked. The bad news is
You did it 8 times.
what is left?
3 more excuses.
3 more. So this is x cubed minus 4x squared minus 2x plus 8. This is an x cubed because the original was an x to the
I think it's groups.
4th.
That's positive.
And Eli says, I could guess again if I wanted to, but that groups.
It does. It really
I think it does.
That groups.
You're gonna take out
It does group.
So here we go.
Not bad. Who's looking at?
Good spot.
What was that first number we tried? We must have tried -4.
We tried -4.
Shoot, we should have tried +4. Oh well. That's okay.
Take 2.
Because 4 is one of my roots.
So that one.
Now what do I do about this?
You usually do X.
Don't I get plus or minus the square root of 2 out of that?
Well, yeah.
And we talked about this last time, that these numbers are not in my list because my list is only rational numbers. So you're not gonna see your radicals and your i's and all that. You're gonna see those in your list. But you did see the -1 and the 4. They're in your list.
Which one was your like, sir?
I guess.
Oh, so that's an answer. So, read it.
Yeah, I tried that. I barely got that, so I have to email it.
Find the roots, find the zeros, find the x intercepts.
Something wrong.
All right, you guys are chatty. Okay, all right, so here we go, number 6, a new vocabulary word. Here is what I want you to do. I want you to do a synthetic get division with problem 6, and I want you to put 3 in the box. So they're asking you to show that 3 is an upper bound. I want you to go ahead and just do the division with that 3. Okay? So here we go. Something is going to happen. We haven't discussed it before. We're going to discuss it now. Clearly, it's not a factor, but that wasn't my goal. How's my division look? Did I do okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you synthetically divide, and every number down here turns out positive, you have found an upper bound. I'm going to tell you what that means in a minute. But every number came out positive. So 3 is an upper bound. Now I want you to think about having a polynomial where maybe your PRRs are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Okay, those are your PRRs. And you are guessing numbers like we did a minute ago. As soon as you guess 3 and this happens, then you will not be guessing 4 or 6 or 12. And upper bound means there are no roots higher than it. So that can be a time saver for you, because 3 didn't work, but I'm not gonna try any numbers bigger than 3 because that's an upper bound, so I would focus on numbers less than 3. Okay? Yes, because those are lower than that, so yeah, so it would just be positive 4, positive 6,
Where are those
positive 2.
PRs?
They didn't, I made them up.
Oh.
I said, listen, Eli,
I know.
listen. I said, if you had a problem where these were the PRRs, and you did this division, 3 would not be a root, but because those are all positive, you wouldn't try 4 or 6 or 12, because 3 is the upper, can't go higher than 3. All right, now do the same thing with the next problem and see what happens. So put -4 in the box.
Let me guess, they're all gonna be negative.
That's the lowest you can go.
Come on, hit it. That isn't true.
Every other one.
Okay, I hope my numbers are right, my math is right. Now notice what happened to the quotient row this time. See how they're alternating? When your quotient row alternates all the way across, then you have found a lower bound. So in upper bound, they all come out positive. A lower bound, they alternate all the way. It's not a mix of some of each, it's definite alternating back and forth, positive, negative. So, come back to this example right here. If that were a division that I were doing in this problem, -4 is a lower bound, so I would not try any numbers lower than -4. So I wouldn't try -6, I wouldn't try -12. So depending on the number, this can be a time saver for you. All right, one more time, upper bound, all positives, all the way across. lower bound, alternating all the way across. Okie dokie smokies. All right, 2-4 is going to be due.
Oh.
I wish it would be Wednesday, but I'm not gonna do that to you. I'll make it do Monday.
Okay, we'll leave it, guys.
I'll be here Wednesday, but Wednesday, all right, and now we're on to 2-5. Here we go. Someone has already started this problem and figured out that x equals 2 is one of the roots of this polynomial.
No.
Brand new, supposedly brand new module.
I think Margaret's gonna she goes first.
Oh, that looks
All right, so here we go. This guy would not factor by grouping. So this would be one where you would have to guess and divide. But someone's already done that for you. Somebody has already figured out that x equals 2 is one of your answers. There's going to be 3 answers. And somebody has told you that 2 is one of them. All right. What are we going to do then? How are we going to find the other 2? Now, if I plug 2 in for x, I'm going to get 0 because it's a root, so it's going to give me a 0. So plugging 2 in won't do me any good, but I could do the PRRs and start guessing, but that's actually more work than I need to do.
Can you just do CRRs division?
Yes, we're just going to do synthetic division. Now, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get a 0 there because that's a root.
Yeah, we're just doing it for you.
But I'm just doing it to see what's left over. So here we go. So 2. Now, if you don't get a 0, then something is going wrong. Because you have been told this is a root. And as Michael said, this is what I'm interested in. Because isn't this gonna give me the other 2? This factors, or I could use the quadratic formula. So my other 2 roots are
3 and 1.
3 and 1. So, Sydney, had I started doing PRRs and guessing, I would eventually get 3 and 1. But this is generally faster, just through the division. All right, take a look at the next one.
She's being really shabby.
How many roots does this guy have? 4. 4. You have been told that one of them is this imaginary thing. There are 3 more. Something I don't think I mentioned to you, and it's pretty important, is that when you have imaginary roots, when you have roots with eyes in them, they always come with their conjugate mate. So in other words, you will never have just 1 plus I. You will also have 1 minus I. They always come together. So 1 plus I means you also have 1 minus I. So now we're down to just having 2 more to find. So if you had a problem where 2 minus 3i was a root, you would automatically know 2 plus 3i was a root. They always come together. Always. Any thoughts on this? Well, what do you do, the problem I'm erasing right now, what do we do with it? Synthetic division? Alright, so let's put a 1 plus I in the box. And let's see what happens. Now I know what better happened. This had better be a 0. 1 plus I times 1 is just gonna be 1 plus I. I'm gonna add these. What do I get when I add these? Negative 1 plus I. Is that right? So now I'm gonna multiply. I can't do that in my head. So over to the side, I'm gonna multiply these. Come on, everybody's participating, not just watching, Michael, not expecting. Okay, and I squared is negative 1.
Yes.
So doesn't that just come out to be negative 2?
Yep. And
So
then
adding gives me negative 3. So multiplying gives me negative 3 minus 3i. Adding gives me 3 minus 3i. No, I got it, I can't do that in my head, so 1 plus I times 3 minus 3i. Sometimes it takes a while.
It's just 3 minus 3.
And negative 3i squared is 3, and 3 makes 6, and there is exactly what we had hoped would happen.
That's just.
Wait.
Now, you ready for the good news? We get to do it again. Because we also know that 1 minus I is a root. So now I'm gonna take what I just ended up with, right here, I just ended up with this. And I am gonna divide 1 minus I into that. So I took 1 plus I into the original problem, and I got this. Now I'm going to take 1 minus I into that, and hopefully end up with a 0. Here we go. Multiply this times this, I get 1 minus I. Oh my gosh. Adding gives me 0. Multiplying gives me negative 3 plus. Hey, looky there. That was a lot easier. So I drop my 1 down, I multiply with the answer here and add it. Multiply, add it, multiply, add it. So what's left? After all that, what's left? Remember, the original was x to the 4th. So after the first division, it was x cubed, and now it is x squared. So I have x squared minus 3.
Yeah.
The roots are plus or minus the square root of 3.
Zero just doesn't zero.
What?
Zero just goes like you don't know.
There's no x in there, yeah. If you did the quadratic formula, you could, but your b would be 0.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's a pretty crazy problem.
She says if you have one value, you always have an option. So you're always gonna have one this side. So if you start with one line value, you're always gonna have she's like, this is a wrap.
One more. One more, you know me better than that. This guy is that one of the roots is 4i. So one of the others is automatically going to be negative 4i. I know that. We could do this problem the same way that we just went through all this.
You must be short.
This one has a little asterisk by it, because if you are paying attention, you will notice that this thing actually factors. Okay? So, if you notice, this can save you a ton of time, but if you don't notice, then you're going to do what we just did. You're going to do the division. It'll be easier because it won't have this other number on it, but factoring is going to be the fastest. So, what are some factors of 48? 6 and 8, that won't work. 12 and 4 won't work. 24 and 2 won't work. 16 and 3. So x plus 16, x minus 3.
Yeah.
When I factor it, it'll do exactly like normal factoring, except these are x squareds.
That's what it says.
So x squared equals negative 16, or x squared equals 3. Here's where you get your plus or minus 4i, see it right there? And then the other two would be plus or minus root 3. So again, if you want to practice the procedure, you can do it with that problem. But you don't have to do it with that problem because it factors. And I will stop there. All right, what happens tomorrow? Two big things.
Quiz.
Quiz and
Homework 2.5.